tuning in. Please like, turn on notifications, subscribe, or share. Want to be a guest? Email podcast@tricountyareachamber.com.
Hi, everybody, and welcome into this episode of Chamber Chat Live on Facebook. My name is Bill Vitiello. I'm the Institutional and Business Development Manager for the Victory Bank. Thank you so much for joining us today. And also, thank you so much to our sponsors. You see them right on the screen there. They are MVP, our mission and vision partners. As I'm scanning all the names there, I see a lot of familiar names who have been stewards in the community and stewards of the Tri-County Area Chamber of Commerce for some time. So thank you so much for your partnership with the Tri-County Chamber in 2021. With me today is the president, and I got it right this time, the president of the Tri-County Area Chamber of Commerce, Eileen Daltrick. Eileen, welcome to Chamber Chat Live.
Hello, Bill. Good afternoon. I'm happy to be here. We are going to add a quick little segment to each episode of Chamber Chat from the president's desk, and I'm going to give a couple of quick updates on some information that we just want our listeners and our audience to know. So I just wanted to share 3 quick events with our audience today. Next Tuesday is our first membership breakfast that we will be returning to that sort of programming with this coming month, and we'll carry that through for the next 6 months. That's going to be from 11:30 to 1. It's not going to be a breakfast because our speaker, Gail Haugen-Rizak, is in Canada. And based on her location in Canada, the time for breakfast was a little out of sorts for her. So we're happy to welcome her for luncheon. Her company focuses only on networking, and we are going to talk about being a hybrid networker. So kind of getting everybody ready to go back to in-person, but how to make the most out of networking in a pandemic and in the virtual world. So hope everyone can join us for that event next Tuesday. Next Thursday, if you are not familiar, we have a young professionals group open to participants age 21 to 40. And again, with everything that's been going on, that group's been a little quiet, but we wanted to kind of kickstart that program back up again in the new year. So we will be having a young professionals virtual networking at 3:00 on Thursday. So those details can be found on our website for both of those events, and you can register from the Chamber website. And then something we're doing this year, we're going to be having community leaders forums. It's important for us to prepare the next workforce age group coming up. And we, of course, as many communities, want our young students to stay here. So even if they go away to college, we want them to come back here and look for opportunities here. So the Community Leaders Forum will be an opportunity for us to introduce local high school students to community leaders and different industries represented in our community. And it'll just be a virtual 1-hour session. Students can pop on. We're going to market it through our local school districts. And our first one will be next Wednesday on the 27th. Not 2 more Wednesdays, sorry. The end of the month, 27th at 1:30. And we're having Mike Robinson with the Reading Fightin' Phils. So great organization. They do a lot with internships and getting students involved. And then a lot of their employees were former students, interns at one point in time. So we're really just trying to look for that engagement, also trying to promote networking as soon as possible in their lives. So it gives them an opportunity if they have an interest and want to go back to the Reading Fightin' Phils at some point in time. They now have a name, they have contact information, and can really use that "it's about who you know" philosophy and be able to reach back out. So we're going to do that for the next 6 months and try and connect students with employers here in the local community.
So this is great. I like this president's desk thing we got going on here. There's nobody that knows these events in the chamber better than you. I mean, if I did it, I would just sit there and stumble on it, certainly. but I like it. I like it.
So yeah, well, there's a lot to talk about, but there's obviously more details I could share, but want to keep it short and sweet.
And then also, I wanted to let the audience know, too, I'm unfortunately going to be attending a virtual advanced banking school which is Victory's been kind enough to make that part of learning more about banking. So I'm not going to be available next week to do the interviews, but the president, Eileen, is going to take the reins of Chamber Chat next week. How exciting!
It is very exciting. I plead with our audience to take it easy on me. This will obviously be my first time actually doing the show with no you to kind of guide through. So, but it'll be fun. It's something different. I've been a guest plenty of times. I will not do it probably as fluid as you, but I'm sure we'll be able to make it through, the 15 minutes.
I think you'll be just fine. And you have two great guests next week. Yes. I'll let Danielle kind of tease that in some social media.
Yes.
So be sure to take a look at our social media channels when you have a moment. So, Eileen, anything else you want to chat about before we bring our guest in?
Nope. Again, just going to join each show just to kind of give a highlight, just kind of put out there again what's up and coming, just for people to keep it on their radar.
Awesome. I feel like I should go official and just be like, and this has been the President's Desk with Eileen.
So you go right ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Eileen. We appreciate it.
Good to see you, Bill. Thank you.
Good to see you. Be well. All right, everybody. And now it's time to bring in our guest for today. Is somebody I've known for quite a while. There he is, although we haven't seen each other in person for some time. My guest today is Dave Czarnecki from CzarStar Security. Dave, welcome to Chamber Chat Live. How are you?
Good, Bill. How are you?
I'm doing good. So what have you been up to? I mean, I haven't seen you since this whole thing went down. How have you been? You been healthy?
Yeah, things are good. So far, COVID's safe. Unfortunately, my business partner and his wife just came down with it this past weekend and the weekend before. They're passing it around the house, and they're doing okay. So
okay. All right. Well, that's encouraging.
Hospitalized. I have parents attached to my house in an apartment, so I'm becoming a parent, trying to keep them at home. Mm-hmm. It's like they have to go to the store a lot, but but they're doing what I call COVID courtesy. Wearing a mask and doing what they have to do, washing their hands. So,
yeah, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that because I speak with my parents too, and I feel like they're going out and they're going grocery shopping to like 3 different grocery stores in one day. I'm like, you can't. There's 2 of you. You can't possibly need that much food. So I don't know if it's something that generation or what it is, but let's just hope everybody stays safe.
So so it's a definitely interesting time. Things have changed. I can say the relationships I built over the last 37 years have definitely kept me busy, through this. Business is good. I wouldn't say it's fantastic, but it's good. One, interest rates are down, so there's still things going on. Unfortunately, of course, with some of the businesses and some of the businesses that we protect and serve aren't doing as well. So I'm trying to do it as much as we can and reducing costs where we can for them and try to keep them up and running.
Sure. So Dave, for those folks who don't know who you are and what CzarStar Security does, can you give a little bit of a background? I know, again, you said you have 37 years, and I know your background's deep in a number of different industries as well. So can you give a little bit of background on CzarStar, please?
Yes. So I'll give you a little background on me. Started in the electronic business, actually in the semiconductor business, where we provided a lot of products for semiconductors in the Cold War area. So where it was in the 80s, early 90s, and that's actually when I started in the alarm business at that same time, and came from the quality control where I was in my early 20s, where if something didn't pass, I had to do a report and hey, why am I stopping $1 million shipment? To get out the door by the end of the month. And which I think was a great start for me. So it taught me like how I want to present myself to customers. Mm-hmm. How can I provide solutions? So my big thing is my key, it's like I'm a car dealer and I sell a certain product and I need to outservice that product. So where my keypad is no more magical than the other guy's keypad. It's the service at a good monthly price. So the great thing is I have customers that I've had for 37 years, that I've gone through different partnerships. And at the end of the day, it's the service that we provided and that mission statement where my customers become my fans. So, and it's great. It's great to be able to see somebody in Jersey, in Delaware, or just here in Pottstown that we have a good relationship with. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm doing your business, or I'm doing your home, and now I was at your house when your kids were 4. Now they're buying houses. So it's fun, and we enjoy doing it, and we really treat it like it's our building or our house when we come out. So we're really a customized solution for low voltage projects.
Yeah, and for those who didn't pick up, Dave obviously does security, does physical security, and then I think you can kind of describe it from there, the different systems that you have available. Go ahead, I'll let you describe it.
So our top 4 products that we provide is we'll start off with the residential market. The residential market is security systems. We typically have life safety, fire protection, CO protection, and then you can go into your security. I can make your building or your house Fort Knox, but you typically want to see my bill. So there's you can go overboard, but you're doing window contacts, glass break protection, motion detectors, or your typical security that you would put in a house. We do from an apartment where your daughter may be going to college and you wanted to put a security system in their apartment while they're there at college, to $1 million homes. And it's still the same type of product. It just means you might need a little bit more. Or I only want to use it while I'm home. I do a neighborhood, and every person's a little different. Some people have pets. Some people just travel a lot. They want to use it while they're away. So again, we go back to the customization of those type of systems. Moving into the commercial line products that we do. Now we do commercial fire alarms where you see the horn strobes, the pull stations at the doors when you're at stores. We do elevator recalls. So if you're in an elevator, when the fire alarm goes off, it recalls to the floor there's no fire. So that's why you see smoke detectors in front of elevators doors. We do sprinkler supervision. So if the water starts to move in the middle of the night, you're going to get a phone call, the fire trucks are on their way. We do access control, where access control reduces the use of keys. So it's kind of like a hotel type of card, which we actually do. But now you can actually put your credentials on your phone. So instead of carrying a fob or a card, those same credentials are on your phone, and nobody forgets your phone. So
I've seen that type of technology before. It's pretty wild. It works via Bluetooth, I guess.
Yes.
And I think I forget where I checked in the hotel, but they're like, "Do you want this as a mobile key or whatever?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna give this a try." It's wild. Yeah.
Yeah. So everything's associated with that. Everything I talk about today has an app to go with it. Or you can combine apps. Going back to the residential market, everybody sees the Ring. Okay. Well, you can connect that same device to our security system. And that cameras to watch the kids come in off the school bus at 3:30 and you get home at 5. You can, just look outside your house to see if you got a delivery, things like that. And then you take that same part, take it into commercially. Cameras are a management tool. You connect it to cash registers, watch what's being rung up. You can even do inventory control through it. With the cameras, I get lots of phone calls for cameras. It's a great added security device. But depending on where you use it, we just put a system in for a customer that has a customer in Israel, and they needed cameras because they wanted to watch the product line. They wanted to watch the product being put in boxes and being manufactured. So we put a couple cameras in, and just like we're on a live view now, they can look in live anytime they want and watch their product. So in the commercial market and even the residential market, I get them to go into some really neat homes. I go into these businesses, learn what they build, what they're doing. And then we provide them some type of low voltage, and typically it's the security, fire, access control, and camera systems.
Yeah, so I know you do quite a bit, and for those folks taking a look at our screen there, you can visit CzarStar on Dave's website there, CzarStar.com. I would also encourage, if you're on Facebook Live right now and you would like to ask a question or make a comment, please feel free and go ahead and interact with myself, interact with Dave. I see Danielle there, so thanks for joining. So she's excited that you're on today. I just want to speak to my personal experience. Again, I know we've known each other for some time now. And I want you to speak to how you approach installing or making a recommendation for a particular residential space or commercial space, because I know when I had my security system installed, you were very collaborative and you asked a lot of questions about how I wanted to be protected. So I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit, because I don't think it's a one size fits all. It's not like you're going to come in and say, okay, well, you need 4 things here and 2 over here. I think you really understand how a person wants to be protected. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Yeah. So what we offer, and again, most security companies offer free site surveys, and I would recommend, this is something that I would recommend not probably buying online. There is cameras, there's security systems you can buy online, but if you get a security professional like myself or other companies that are out there, I would recommend buying local, okay, and even if buying from not a national company. From there, the site survey goes. We would come in like Bill said, and we would talk to you about your needs. On why are you thinking about the security system now? Are you in the design stage? Are you building a home? So that would be a good time to talk to us. Are you building a new commercial building? So both residential and commercial are pretty much some of the same questions we would ask. What's the traffic flow in the building or the house? Do you have people coming in different times? Do you have an in-laws quarters? You can have the system split up in 2, where it's one system, but either section of the system can be turned on or off at different times, depending on the person. Would you like an app so you can let people in remotely? We can do remote deadbolts. We can, like I said, with the doorbell, somebody could ring the doorbell. You could actually open up the door, and you can do that commercially or residentially. We would, like I said earlier about pets. Do you have pets? Are you concerned about a certain area in your room? I have lots of customers that have guns or have valuables. If you own like a jewelry store, we would do different security at your home than we would typically do at a typical residential home, where you've seen years ago where people actually taking people home and force them to go back to their business and open up. How can we reduce that? There's ways to do that with your system, and most of the systems have some of those options built into it. So we talk about how the system works. For instance, if you have windows that open or you have windows that don't open, there's different ways to protect that type of protection. I have people that I've done residentially to track their kids so they don't sneak out at night. Second floor windows. That's not a typical thing.
That was never you or I growing up, though, was it?
Right, exactly.
I mean, both of us were complete angels.
and again, growing up in the Tri-County area, I remember my parents leaving the doors open, leaving the keys in the car. Well, now you have garage doors open in the car. Now somebody could get in and do it. If you needed milk, you go over to the neighbor's house, take a cup of milk and leave them a note, and then bring them a gallon the next day. Unfortunately, we live in a different society now, And, Tri-County area is still a great place to live. I live on the other side of Boyertown, grew up in the Gilbertsville area. I still remember, Santa Claus being in the alley in Pottstown, and it's just, it's a great place to live. And unfortunately, especially when the economy goes down, crime goes up, and most of the crime around here happens during the day, when people are at school and work. Now with COVID, I've never spent so much time at home. I work a lot out of my house. And again, even if you decide not to buy a security system, look like you're home. Look like there's something going on there,
Yeah, and I think you bring up a good point, because we're not going to be in this situation forever. It's not like we're going to be home forever. So, once we start breaking out of this, things are going to change. Patterns are going to change. Maybe some people observing things, that's going to change a little bit. So definitely reach out to Dave and consult a little bit. We have a few minutes left, Dave. I wanted to talk a little bit about, you mentioned community. I know you are a big community guy. And involved in a number of different groups and organizations, if you will. Can you talk about how you're involved in the community, please?
Yeah. So as I said earlier, I've been involved in lots of chambers. I've been a Tri-County Chamber member for years, and I belong to a few other chambers in the area, along with groups from New Jersey, Philadelphia, and then right here in our backyard, I belong to the Pottstown Rotary Club, which was actually brought to me because one of my competitors was in the Rotary Club and went out of business. And I was asked to join the Rotary. That was about 19 years ago. And I went to a meeting and joined the club and got involved. Over time, it's a service group. It's a volunteer group. We do a lot of great things here in the community. We work with other Rotary clubs. I'm from Boyertown. I went to school in Boyertown. I thought Rotary at first was a program that we got kids from different countries, that played on the soccer team, and we got a kid from Brazil, definitely helped the team that year. Mm-hmm. Right. So we had people travel from England. It was Rotary sponsored. So, but with Rotary, it's a group of people that want to provide service. Pottstown Club is a fantastic club, along with other clubs, Spring Forward, Boyertown. I know all these people in these other clubs. It is in our backyard. They are here to help, but we serve with fun. We provide a service. We do have fundraisers. We're going to have a fundraiser right now, a Super Bowl pool, and we're raising money, and we're going to raise $1,300 and give it to a charity. Mm-hmm. And the Rotarians are going to jump on a football pool. It'll be something else to watch. So we do a lot of great stuff. 5 or 6 years ago, I was the president of the club, and then we brought some members. We went from like 55 members, and now over the past 5 years, we're up into the 90 member range.
Yeah, you guys have grown that quite a bit.
Which is great. It's hard. It's hard to stay focused with COVID, just like chamber members, things like that. It's great to hear that we started a service group up. Of course, we don't meet much in person, but there's projects we can do outside. We pick up trash, and 724 is our part of our road that we pick up trash on. Mm-hmm. So things that we can still do. Like I said, we could raise money on Super Bowl, but now I became very involved with the district. The district is 47 clubs. I've helped start in the last 3 years, 3 new clubs in our area. Montgomeryville, Upper Perk, Pennsburg area was a new club that we started a couple years ago. And there was a club that disbanded probably 10 or 12 years ago, and we just brought them back and just refocused. And you don't have to own a business to be a Rotarian. Right. Victory employees that are Rotarians. We have, but it's really that you feel passionate to serve and help your community.
Yeah, no, and that's
Build a lot of relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. Building relationships is quite a huge part of it, but then also helping out the community certainly has its impact as well. We have a question here from Drew. Drew is with Delicious Marketing. He also helps all the behind the scenes here with the Chamber Chat Live. But he was wondering if he would like to hear some stories about how your security company may have helped some clients in the past. Could you maybe just give us a story before we break here? And
so here's a quick one that we just we're working on, and we've done actually some of these in the past. Is a laundromat where you're an owner of a laundromat. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, you would typically have to get up, open up the door, turn the lights on, and then at say 10 o'clock when you close, you would reverse that. Well, we can do that all automatically, where we're going to lock the door, we can turn the lights on, you can see what's going on with the camera. At night, we reverse that. We turn the security system back on, shut off the lights, lock the doors. If there's somebody still in the store, we can alert you. You can actually talk to them remotely. So that's a real quick, it's really you don't have to be there, and you could have 50 of those type of stores,
That's incredible.
You could do, we put systems in for residentially. You hit one button, the good night button, shut your lights off, make sure your garage doors, the garage door open. How many times does that happen? And shut off the TVs. We have systems where, you don't want your kid to be on the internet after 10 o'clock. We can shut that down.
Yeah.
So your devices don't work. So there's lots of different things you can do. And that's why we like to meet with you. Mm-hmm. System that works for you.
That laundromat is definitely a cool story. I mean, I could see how a laundromat owner would be kind of bogged down by some of the details. And if that, that automation helps, that can allow them to be in another place or address another issue. So that's awesome. Before we go, I just wanted to acknowledge Grace Leone. I hope I'm saying that right. She said, "Good afternoon, gentlemen." So good afternoon, Grace. And Grace, love your avatar. I don't know, Drew, can you pull up Grace's avatar there? Or comment? Look at that. Love one another. There's never more time that we need to do that than right now, right?
Yes, definitely.
So thank you, Grace. We appreciate you checking in. Dave, anything else you'd like to share with us before we go? And a good way to contact you, please.
If you have any questions, just want to talk on the phone, of course, I'll come out and give you a free site survey any time you would like. I'll give you out my cell phone is 484-942-9465. Our websites have an 800 number. You can call there and get a hold of us. Me or my team will come out and give you a free site survey. If you have an existing system and you just want somebody to take a look at, we do take systems from other companies not providing a great service. So let us come out and let us know what we can do for you.
Awesome. And we'll drop this information also in the show notes as well, so folks will know where to get in touch with you. But Dave Czarnecki from CzarStar Security, thank you so much for joining us today. We greatly appreciate it.
Thanks, Bill.
You're welcome. Yeah, continue to stay safe, be well, and all my best to your family as well, okay?
You too.
Yes, just hang on just a moment.
Okay.
Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to Chamber Chat Live today. Again, Eileen is going to be hosting next week, next Monday and Wednesday. Again, take a look at our social media for who our guests are. Mondays is a do not miss, and I think Wednesdays is a do not miss also. So thank you once again for tuning in. We'd like to thank Drew from Delicious Marketing for doing all the behind the scenes, the students from the Communicating Arts and Production Group of Montgomery County Community College for producing the intro that you saw. And thank you once again to the Chamber for allowing us to do this. So once again, my name is Bill Vitiello. I got a golf clap. Thank you. Once again, I'm Bill Vitiello from the Victory Bank. And until we connect again, all my best. Bye for now.
Thank you for tuning in. Please like, turn on notifications, subscribe, or share. Want to be a guest? Email podcast@tricountyareachamber.com.